What if the safest car brand in the world suddenly decided it did not want to be safe anymore? What if the company known for calm, rational design woke up one morning and chose intimidation over politeness? And what if the most sensible luxury SUV on the road was reimagined as something aggressive, bold, and almost unsettling? Would that still be a Volvo? That is the question we are answering today. Because what you are looking at is not just another SUV concept or a styling exercise. This is a radical design study for what we are calling the Volvo XC90 Ultimate Edition. And it challenges everything we think we know about Volvo as a brand. Before we dive deeper, let me ask you something else. Have you ever wished a car you respected also scared you just a little? If that idea hooks you, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because this is exactly the kind of automotive alternate reality we love exploring here. Now let us be honest. When someone says Volvo, most people picture safety, first engineering, calm, Scandinavian interiors, and responsible design choices. Volvo is the brand parents trust. It is the car you buy when peace of mind matters more than image. It is the vehicle that never tries to dominate a parking lot or shout for attention. For decades, Volvo built its identity around restraint. While other manufacturers chased speed, drama, and aggressive styling, Volvo quietly perfected crash structures, driver protection systems, and seats designed to protect your spine over long journeys. It became the adult in the automotive room. Reliable, predictable, and reassuring. So what happens when that adult decides it is tired of being ignored? This Ultimate Edition concept answers that question in the most dramatic way possible. It takes everything Volvo stands for and flips the emotional tone without abandoning the core engineering philosophy. It is still safe. It is still solid. But now it looks like it could stare down traffic and win. Let us start at the front, because that is where the shock truly begins. The standard XC90 is elegant, understated, and refined. It blends into its surroundings effortlessly. This version does not blend into anything. It confronts you. The grille remains unmistakably Volvo with its vertical slats and diagonal slash, but the proportions have been pushed to an extreme. It is taller, wider, and far more imposing. The surface treatment gives it a brutal architectural feel, like reinforced steel rather than decorative chrome. It looks like a barrier rather than a welcome sign. This alone changes how the vehicle feels emotionally. The XC90 is no longer passive. It is assertive. Then come the headlights. Volvo keeps its iconic Thor hammer LED signature, but everything about it has been sharpened. The lights are slimmer, more focused, and more aggressive. Instead of appearing friendly, they look intense. Almost like narrowed eyes locking onto the road ahead. This is not accidental. The face of a car defines how we emotionally interpret it. And this face tells you that this vehicle does not want to negotiate. Below the headlights, the lower bumper pushes the concept even further. Massive air intakes dominate the front fascia. Angular sculpting creates a protruding chin that dramatically alters the stance. The approach angle is sacrificed entirely. This is not pretending to be off-road capable. Instead, it is pretending to be unstoppable. And that is an important distinction. This design is not about versatility. It is about presence. If you find this kind of design evolution fascinating and want more long-form breakdowns like this, do not forget to subscribe. It helps us keep creating content that goes deeper than spec sheets and press releases. Moving to the side profile, the transformation becomes even more apparent. The paint choice alone changes everything. This muted cement gray, often associated with high-performance German vehicles, completely recontextualizes the XC90. Suddenly, it does not feel like a family hauler. It feels like urban armor. Color matters more than people realize. In this shade, the XC90 stops looking luxurious and starts looking tactical. It feels designed to disappear into concrete cityscapes rather than suburban driveways. Then there is the wide-body treatment. Wide-body kits often look like afterthoughts, but here the execution is surprisingly elegant. The fenders flare naturally from the original body lines. The added width feels intentional and factory-engineered. This extra width gives the vehicle a lower, heavier stance. It visually anchors the SUV to the road. The proportions now suggest strength rather than height, and those proportions are emphasized by the wheels. These appear to be massive forged wheels in the 23 or even 24-inch range. The intricate spiderweb-style design is visually complex and aggressive. From a practical standpoint, this setup would be harsh, unforgiving, and completely impractical for real-world road conditions. But that is not the point. Visually, these wheels transform the XC90. They make the standard version look narrow and top-heavy by comparison. The Ultimate Edition feels planted solid and immovable. This is where the concept begins to make emotional sense. It is not trying to be comfortable. It is trying to make a statement. If you have ever felt that modern SUVs are becoming too soft, too rounded, and too polite, this design speaks directly to that frustration. As we move toward the rear, the concept makes its boldest departure from Volvo tradition. Volvo taillights have long been one of the brand's strongest identifiers. Vertical light elements running up the rear pillars have been a signature for decades. This Ultimate Edition abandons that entirely. Instead, we get a full-width horizontal LED light bar stretching across the tailgate. It visually connects the vehicle from side to side, emphasizing width rather than height. The result is striking, modern, and slightly unsettling. It feels futuristic, but not friendly. It feels designed for a darker, more aggressive timeline. Then come the exhaust tips. Quad rectangular outlets integrated into an aggressive rear diffuser. This is where the concept openly rebels against Volvo's current corporate direction. Volvo has committed to electrification and the eventual elimination of combustion engines. This design imagines a world where that decision never happened. A world where Volvo built one final high-performance flagship powered by a monstrous engine or an extreme hybrid system. A world where Volvo decided to compete directly with the most aggressive luxury SUVs on the planet. And that raises an important question. Is there an audience for this kind of Volvo? The traditional Volvo buyer values discretion. They prefer quiet luxury and anonymity. This vehicle offers none of that. It demands attention. It refuses to be ignored. This is for someone who respects Volvo's safety and build quality, but rejects its image. It is for professionals who want to project strength without sacrificing intelligence. It is for drivers who want to feel protected and powerful at the same time. There is something deeply compelling about the idea of a vehicle that is both safe and intimidating. It creates a contradiction that is emotionally engaging. You know it would protect you in a crash. You know it would be engineered with precision and care. But it looks like it could intimidate an entire highway. That tension is what makes this concept so fascinating. And we are only halfway through the story. In Part 2, we will explore whether this Ultimate Edition makes sense in today's market, how it compares to rivals like the Defender and the G-Wagon, and whether Volvo missed an opportunity by never building something like this. Before you move on, make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss Part 2. This series is about cars that almost existed and ideas that challenge what brands are allowed to be. So here is the real question. If a vehicle like the Volvo XC90 Ultimate Edition actually existed, would anyone buy it? Or would it completely confuse the market? Would loyal Volvo customers feel betrayed, or would a whole new audience suddenly start paying attention to the brand? That question matters because this concept does not live in a vacuum. It exists in a very specific moment in the automotive industry where design language and consumer expectations are shifting rapidly. Before we answer that, let me ask you this. When was the last time a Volvo made you feel excited just by looking at it? If you cannot remember that moment, this concept alone might explain why it matters. Let us talk about the current SUV market, because context is everything. Right now, some of the most successful high-end SUVs are not subtle at all. They are boxy, aggressive, and unapologetic. The Land Rover Defender is selling incredibly well despite being less refined than its predecessor. The G-Wagon remains one of the most desired luxury SUVs in the world, even though it rides like a brick and consumes fuel like a supercar. People are clearly willing to sacrifice comfort and efficiency for presence and personality. That trend is not accidental. In a world where so many vehicles are becoming smooth, silent, and aerodynamic, consumers are craving something that feels solid and mechanical. Something that looks like it was designed with intent rather than wind tunnel perfection. This is where the XC90 Ultimate Edition fits surprisingly well. Despite being based on a platform that is not new, this concept feels fresh because it changes the attitude completely. It does not rely on new technology or futuristic gimmicks. It relies on stance, proportion, and confidence. And that is powerful. If Volvo had built something like this, it would not have been competing on speed alone. It would have been competing on identity. It would have said we can be safe and intimidating at the same time. Now let us talk about the elephant. Volvo is currently facing electrification. Volvo has made its position clear. The future is electric. Vehicles like the EX90 represent that vision. Smooth, quiet aerodynamic, and focused on efficiency and autonomy. That future makes sense from a regulatory and technological standpoint, but it also removes something emotional. Electric vehicles often struggle with personality because so much of what we associate with character comes from sound, vibration, and mechanical presence. The Ultimate Edition concept leans into the opposite direction. It imagines weight resistance and force. It is not trying to glide. It is trying to dominate. That contrast is important because it highlights a potential gap in Volvo's lineup. A gap for customers who want safety and quality, but also want drama and presence. So who exactly would buy this? This is not for the traditional Volvo loyalist who values invisibility. This is for someone who has always admired Volvo engineering but never connected with its image. This is for people who want to feel protected and powerful at the same time. It is for the professional who is tired of German luxury but still wants authority. It is for the family driver who wants to feel like they are driving something special rather than sensible. It is for buyers who appreciate craftsmanship but also want intimidation. There is also an emotional factor here that cannot be ignored. Cars are not just transportation. They are expressions of how we want to be perceived. The Ultimate Edition allows someone to project confidence without recklessness. It says, "I value safety, but I refuse to look harmless." That message resonates more than manufacturers often realize. If you are enjoying this deeper psychological look at car design, make sure you subscribe. This channel is about understanding why cars make us feel the way they do, not just what they cost or how fast they are. Now let us address the criticism. Some people would absolutely say this ruins Volvo. They would argue that Volvo should never chase aggression, that its strength lies in calm, rational design. That intimidation goes against everything the brand stands for. And they are not wrong. But brands evolve or they fade. Volvo has already evolved in many ways. Its interiors are more luxurious. Its technology more advanced. Its pricing more premium. The idea that Volvo must remain visually passive while everything else changes may be more limiting than protective. This concept does not erase Volvo's values. It reframes them. Safety does not have to look soft. Strength does not have to look reckless. Protection does not have to look boring. The Ultimate Edition proves that these ideas can coexist. There is also something refreshingly honest about this design. It does not pretend to be efficient or eco-friendly. It does not hide behind minimalism. It owns its weight, its presence, and its aggression. That honesty is rare. Now imagine how this vehicle would feel to drive. You sit high surrounded by thick materials. The steering wheel feels heavy. The road noise is muted not because of insulation alone, but because the vehicle feels dense. The suspension is firm not to please comfort seekers, but to maintain control. You are not rushing. You are commanding. Even at low speeds, the presence would be undeniable. Other drivers would notice. Not because it is flashy, but because it feels serious. And that feeling is something many modern vehicles lack. Let us also talk about longevity. The XC90 platform may be aging, but this concept proves that platforms do not die. Attitudes do. With the right design direction, even an older architecture can feel relevant again. This is something manufacturers often forget. They chase constant reinvention instead of emotional reinvention. Volvo could have extended the XC90's life not by adding screens or software, but by giving it a new personality. That may have been a missed opportunity. So where does this leave us? Is the Volvo XC90 Ultimate Edition realistic? Probably not. Is it practical? Definitely not. Is it necessary? That depends on how you define necessity. Not every car needs to exist. Some cars exist to remind us what brands are capable of. This concept reminds us that Volvo does not have to be quiet to be respected. It can be bold without being reckless. It can be intimidating without being irresponsible. And sometimes that reminder alone is worth exploring. Before we wrap up, let me ask you one final question. If Volvo announced tomorrow that it was building a limited-run, aggressive wide-body XC90 with uncompromising design, would you want one? Would you welcome a Volvo that looks mean, or would you prefer it stay polite? Let us know your thoughts, because this is exactly the kind of conversation that keeps automotive culture interesting. If you enjoyed this two-part deep dive, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss future explorations of cars that challenge expectations and brands that could have taken a different path. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.